Hello, welcome. I'm going to welcome you guys because I got my Nashville shirt on. We are having our awesome lunch and learn today and crafting conversations because it is the last Tuesday of the month. And we're going to be covering some amazing things. And Mary, can you run down your list of what we wanted to cover today? Because you had a set plan and I love that she's organized.
So first of all, number one, a concise way to describe our transition into herbal alchemy. You know, you certainly don't want to reach out to someone, and we can all contribute on these. We just wanted to give you, because the way each of us speak is going to resonate differently with different people. Our second one is what to say to re-engage people who said no previously. More importantly, now's not a good time, but I love what you're doing. What type of posts to put out there to re-engage people. And the last topic would be what to do to revitalize our ATN groups alongside to coincide with these conversations. So.
Perfect. I love it. Okay. So before we do that, just a little bit of housekeeping. Number one, very, very important, our passwords and logins to get into our meetings is we're transitioning, just like our brand is transitioning into Herbal Alchemy. We are transitioning into a new password. So instead of using MIG in all caps, we are going to have our password be become on everything, all lowercase, just the word become. So if you ever can't remember or don't have your automatic Zoom login, you're just going to go to fullyactivateyoutraining.com and the password is going to be become all lowercase. If you ever need to get into our cross-line training website, which is fullyactivateyou.com, our password is always going to be become all lowercase. So across the board, if there's anything with a password in any of our trainings, our websites, our portals, anything like that, it's always going to be become with a lowercase b, all lowercase. So, okay, first thing done. Second thing, I want to make sure that everybody knows that open ordering is now happening for the new products. And you guys have to show you, some of mine came already. So this is, oh, Jen's got hers. So this is the immunity oil. Look at how pretty it is. I love the top right here. And I don't know about you guys, but I was able to just open it with the seal on. So I'm keeping that seal on there. So open it. And it smells so yummy. So anyway, so this is the immunity oil. And then a couple of the other ones I wanted to show you guys are new facial bars. So these are, turn around. These are the black gold and the resilience. And they are both sizes of these got changed. So this used to be our dew and it's twice the size. And this used to be our facial lotion bar. And this one is now shrunk down a little bit. So it's half the size, but they're both the size. If you are trying to figure out, they're both the size of our current balms. So that is the same size as the facial bars now. Okay. So anyway, so that's open ordering right now for those. If you go into your back office, you should see, and I don't know if any of you guys have the link you can put in here too for anyone that's on this meeting. But if you go into your back office and under announcements, you should see an announcement that says it's here, it's time. And then if you click on that, it will give you a link to a Google Doc that you can go and fill in and you can order those. Okay. That is going to be available. Everything Herbal Alchemy and all of these new goodies are going to be available for customers to order on November 4th. So November 4th for customers. Make sure that you get as alchemists, that you get your orders in on that Google Doc before October 31st. So that's what thank you. And there it is. If you want to click on it, that's the form right there. Okay, so those are our big announcements. Any other ones that I'm missing, ladies? I think we're good then. Okay, so let's start having some conversations then. All right, so our first one is, how do we talk about our name change transitioning into Herbal Alchemy? Anybody want to start us off with that, or what you said, what you've been telling people? This is open discussion, so unmute yourselves. This fourth Tuesday of the month is like unmute and everyone we're just brainstorming, talking, and we're having conversations in our crafting conversations.
I can tell you what I say.
Okay.
When somebody asks why the name change, I will say, well, because Jamie feels like, or our founder, whoever I'm talking to, if they know who Jamie is, then obviously I don't have to explain. Our founder feels like we're stepping into a new season, and that we need a new identity as far as what defines us as how we're moving forward. So like in the Bible, when someone was stepping into a new season, God changed their name. So like Sarai became Sarah, Abram became Abraham, Saul became Paul, because they were stepping into a new season of their life and a new belief and everything was new. And so she feels like that is what we're doing. And this is basically what she has said, that she asked the Lord to give us a new name, and this is what she kept coming back to. So that's just what I tell people. That may not fit with everybody's narrative, but so far that's what I've been saying. And also, you can also go back to the name change video and just let it do the talking for you. Apple, tiger shoes, that kind of thing. I think it all speaks to the same thing. I just happen to be a person of faith, so it resonates with me and with most people that I'm talking to. So
Yeah.
And to tag on to that, Beth, I have just said, hey, I've talked to you about this before. I'm kind of on this journey of detoxifying over a long period of time. Trust me. So I just wanted to let you know that we are going to be going through a name change, and it really, truly more reflects how pure and nature sourced our products are. Think mortar and pedestal. Think, if I held up a carrot right now and I told you that I used all kinds of chemicals to pull out the keratin would be dead. So mortar and pedestal infused into oils, living essential ingredients right transfer into topically being absorbed into your skin. So that is all called Herbal Alchemy. And our company really, truly, if you didn't understand what MIG stood for, now you really know what we stand for.
Yeah, I agree. And I think that the people that I have told that know what MIG, and that I've said we're actually changing into Herbal Alchemy, where we are getting a facelift, into Herbal Alchemy, and they're like, oh, that fits so much better. I'm like, yeah, it totally does, because they already know the products are amazing, that they're super natural, that they're beautiful, and like you said, active, living, and impactful. And I think that right there in and of itself, that those that know MIG currently, and when you tell them the new name, that they're like, oh yeah, that's good. That's really good.
I even sometimes make it more simple for some people who don't I don't have a lot of time, but it's basically saying like going from good to gold, good, taking what we've been doing, like going back to our roots, what you guys have all said, but just going like good to great. We're just taking it to the next level of expanding our business. We are just growing, and we're doing a little bit of a touch up of our brand. So you'll see some things changing within our marketing and our, brand colors and packaging. So some people just need a little bit more simplistic, and some people I do go into more, more depth, but sometimes people, they get a little, lost. Sometimes their attention span is really short. So that's another way of just kind of shortening it up.
I love that, Jen. I love that. And you're right. A lot of times people just keeping it simple, they don't get confused, or, stop listening, everything else that a lot of times our brains do, especially because we're all on overload, right? And, something to think about too, I think when we're talking about rebranding, when we're talking about, moving into the next phase of our business and of our brand, is to realize that although this is huge for us as alchemists, this is amazing for us, this is really a huge shift for us. Other people, this isn't going to be that big of a deal too. Like if you realize, like, think of any brand you've ever used, and if they have rebranded or if they have a new packaging up there, literally it takes you about 2 seconds to go, oh, that's the same thing. Okay. Like it's really not that big of a deal as far as like to the customer, that like you were saying, Jen, almost keeping it super simple, because to them, this isn't like their livelihood. This isn't something that they're building, that they're, you know, doing all these things. Of course, we want to like always keep that love that we have for our brand, but knowing that like we don't have to make it into a big deal, because to them it's not going to be a huge thing. They're just going to be like, oh, that makes sense, and move on. You know, so keep that in mind too, because that's like the reality of life, right?
Yes, that is a good point.
Okay.
All
All
righty.
right.
Our second topic, what to say to re-engage people who said no previously. I can start because I came up with a question list. I will just go. I specifically have just said, hey, I know you said it's such and such a time last we spoke. So go back through your notes, kind of get yourself refreshed. And it wasn't necessarily a good time, but you've ordered some things and things like that. Now that we're making this shift and we have some updated branding, I just wanted to open up that conversation and check back with you. That's all.
I love that. I love that. I'll tell you guys, what I've used too is I've been reaching out to some people that either were ambassadors and that have dropped off, or that I've talked to about the business opportunity before. And I basically just said to them, this is happening. It's amazing. It's awesome. Because I know they've been a part of the business and they have been interested before. And we're stepping into I'm losing my train of thought, you guys. We're stepping into we're in pre-launch again. And what an amazing opportunity to come and be a part of this. I'm looking for people who are open to, you know, being a part of building this from the ground up. So if you know anyone, or if that's you still, then let me know. And so it kind of gives it if you know anyone, like I'm not necessarily saying it has to be you, but if you know anyone, or if this appeals to you, like, let me know. And then it opens the door a little bit more, like, oh, she's not just like hounding me. She's asking, like, if you have anyone else that you think might be interested, I'll be open to that too. So either way, they can give you a yes or a referral. So that's something that I've been saying too. But that pre-launch, I think that pre-launch stage of really using that in the next 2.5 months is going to be really, really huge for us to talk to people about. I was just talking to one of my team members yesterday, and I said, you know, everyone, because she was telling me that she was doing another side hustle, and I said, but her heart was wanting to bring her back over to this. And I said, do it. I said, this is the time. I said, and how do you know that those people that you have been talking to with this other side hustle aren't the ones that you should be talking to about this? I said, everybody is looking for that golden ticket of a pre-launch of an amazing company. And I said, and what we have is 10 years of awesome track record, and then 2 years of basically now what I'm calling soft launch into social selling, and working out all the kinks and getting everything figured out, knowing what reports we need, knowing how our customers are, you know, what packaging and size we need so that they're ordering on a more consistent basis. We've basically done 2 years of field testing in social selling. And I said, so who wouldn't want to jump in at a pre-launch stage that really has 12 years of research and proven track record behind it? And so that's where we're at, you guys. And that is super, super exciting. And that's something that people that are in the industry, they know when they see something like that, they're going to be like, oh yeah, I definitely need to jump on that. I definitely need to try it. So remember that key part is really, really huge as you're talking to people and telling them about this.
And using the words that I just quick audio message. I have a second chance to be the first. You have a second chance to be the first at Herbal Alchemy. That just right there. Just wanted to reach back out to you again. We have a second chance to be the first. Mm-hmm. That's triggered some response back too. So
yeah.
I also like some people who've just been kind of sleeping at the wheel, if you will. And I've said things like, with what you guys have said about like, great things, amazing things are happening at MIT, actually, ... Now Herbal Alchemy. Because if they haven't really paid attention, they're going to go, whoa, wait a second, that kind of thing. It just piques that interest. But then also saying some big incentives for ambassadors like you. Let me know if you're free to chat. So you can say that with anybody, like, what, great incentives for new people joining. So just to pique their interest, like it's these voice messages, I'm leaving, text messages, things like that, just saying, you just want to kind of entice them to have another conversation. So that I'm not giving all the information. I'm just like, hey, there's some amazing things happening with MIG, ... Actually, Herbal Alchemy, and then again, just the incentives. Again, that's what I've been using too. Get a second chance to be first.
I
Maybe
love
using
that.
a rare moment to do that, to do that. So
I love that. And I love, Jen, I haven't been using the incentives, but that's huge. That's huge, you guys. So using those incentives, and we've got 2. So people that are new can participate in 2 incentives at the same time, and they can stack all of those goodies and all of those rewards. And so
really,
go ahead.
really quick on this. So if you have a team that you want to re-engage, because there's a lot of people who maybe have just stepped back, life happens, the world's going crazy around them, whatever. But the email that Jamie sent out with the summary when it came out, we can send you the link as well. But it just goes through. I've been doing that with people on my team. I'm doing Zooms, sharing my screen and going, here's what's going on. Here's the name change. This also has like the link for Jamie's video, but just going through systematically the new products, the new bundles, the incentives. It helps you walk through it. But then it's also a refresher for you when you're talking to people. You can just go through and go, oh my gosh, as you're talking to maybe a new person or maybe an existing person, this is your like learning guide or your conversational guide. So I'll put it up as well if you guys want to see what I'm talking about.
Yeah, that's awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. And I love that you guys are loving all of this stuff too. Okay. I would love to hear from you guys, what you're hearing back from people as you're testing things out. Because I think that I want to bring this up right now, is a key thing to remember too. Test out different verbiage and language and ways that you reach out to people and see what works, and do different things if you're going to send 5 messages, send 5 different messages, see which one gets you a better response. And then you'll know, oh, I should probably be using that message for everybody. But you won't know if you don't test out different things. I've made it a point since I got back from Nashville to say different things to different people I talk to. Some people I talk about, that I'm an herbalist and that I love to help people with this. Other people I've said an herbal health coach. Other people I've said that I help with their gut. Like I've taken different angles on everybody I've talked to, so that then I can be like, okay, which one of those really caught their attention? Which one was the one that they were like, oh, okay, tell me more about what's that? And so definitely make sure that you're testing different things out and trying different ways of approaching people. And here's the other thing I'll tell you. A lot of people, once you start to get brave enough to open your mouth, why not? Like when I was traveling, I was like, why not say that I do this? I'm probably never going to see this person again. I'm going to test it out and see what they say, or, offer this. And then it just helps me to be more confident too. So the next person that I talk to, the next person that I interact with, and I'm not saying be weird and like go run up to people like I've had someone do before at a grocery store and be like, hey, you look like a great person for my opportunity. Don't do that. Don't do that. Like just someone like randomly coming up to you. I was like, okay, you're very strange. Please don't talk to me. I'm a little bit nervous right now. But I'm saying if you're sitting next to someone on an airplane for 4 hours, 30 minutes, it doesn't matter, and you're having conversation, absolutely bring up what you do. And absolutely at the end, offer them a sample of your beautiful soap and your card and get their information. And that's what I'm talking about, is interacting with people, making sure you bring it up and testing out different things. So I seriously, at that point, Beth is so cute. But I had a baby strapped to me, and I had one in like the basket of, in the little part looking at me at the grocery store. And I was like, seriously, like, did you just really walk up to me? And I'm sure they were told by their upline, like, go and like prospect everybody. Don't do that kind of prospecting. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about in normal conversations. If you're at a mixer or a networking meeting, try and test out, like, if you're going up and, hi, Jen, I'm Samantha, test out something different of your things to say so that you can get that response back from people. Sorry, I went off on a tangent there, you guys. Okay, anybody else?
And I always am watching the clock, what type of posts to put out. Just some of you that are friends with different ones of us, just about change coming and, kind of why you're embracing change and good things come from growth, those types of things. And, really be true. So there are some people that are very, very, I don't know, tech savvy that are doing, some videos and that for name changes and logo changes and things like that. So just, and be aware that putting out those posts on a regular basis and going back to convention, and just because we were just there, continuing to post about those, and you're going to have multiple takeaways. So using that information, if you weren't at convention, lean into your lead for posts as well. So I don't know if any of you other ladies have, but I also want to watch the clock here. So, and then
I think Beth did a great one with just a lot of photos that she took with everybody there at convention. And I think it was awesome. I'm going to steal a little bit of that, Beth, just FYI, because I think it was awesome. But it was just like, we're on fire. We're excited. If you weren't there, it is okay. Take photos of when you were with people. Like, wow, this was, it doesn't make a difference. They may not realize that it wasn't just today, but you're like, wow, I've been on this great journey and more amazing things are happening, or, any of that stuff. So reutilize photos you've taken, and then, revealing, just do something that's talking about revealing. Just my little tidbits.
And I love too, Jen, from what you're saying, and Beth, I saw that post and I have to use snippets of it too. And all of you, yeah, we can all look at those things and to share that stuff. And I think that what you were saying before, Jen, is also key, is to not vomit all of the information on people. Don't put the post out with every single little detail or message somebody with all the things. If you guys heard what Jen said earlier, it was very, very short, very much like message me back for info, like message me back and we'll talk more. And so really piquing their interest and going, okay, all right, I got to talk to her more. And that's what we want our post to be too. Yeah.
And this one ties into our last topic, what to do for your ATM groups. Really, it's, we have pictures of new product, but we don't have new product video. I've had a lot of questions from team members and that, what are we changing? First of all, just take a deep breath, a step back, and just be like, excited about new things. As information comes out, you drip, but you repurpose a lot of different information because people cannot absorb it in 1 nanosecond of them scrolling. You understand, most of your people, even in your ATM groups, are scrolling while they're watching TV, or while they're, hopefully not driving, but a passenger in the car, or while they're doing something else. That's the point of social media. So you're going to have to repurpose the same content a number of times, but show an occasional image, show the same, it is the same product. The name is going to be transforming, just little snippets at a time to drip. But you want the person to see it before they brand recognize it. I know initial conversation 8 to 12 times before they even pay attention. And then, this will be a gradual process. So just be mindful of that and continuing to use what comes out, essentially from Jamie's email this week that Jennifer already shared with us. You have 20 different ideas for different things. Just break it down into snippets, use your own graphics, pull some graphics from somebody else who did go to convention, go to the site. There are downloads of individual bottles that we can see, but you give yourself some grace to understand that you have from now till probably January before all of these things, and we see changes on websites and things like that too. Hopefully it will be faster, but if it's not, that actually is a grace, again, to refer back to this pre-launch timeframe and treat it as that. Don't stress out about it.
So there's a question really quick about Jocelyn, the photos that she took for some of the ambassadors who opted to have a photo taken of her. She sent an email with a link, and I'll send it to you, Denise.
Okay. We're coming up right on at about 12:30. It's 12:29 right here on Eastern time. So we do want to wrap up. Do any other ambassadors have any other questions that we can concisely and quickly answer so that our video is not too long today and it can truly be a lunch and learn? Did you find this kind of crafting conversation and banter back and forth helpful today?
Yes.
Okay, great. And that's what we wanted, is just to be sparking your mind and not overwhelming you, but dialing it down so that you were like, okay, I can do this. Is doable. It's easy, and I can break it down. So,
Quick question. So when our customers begin to log on to the website to order, at that point, is all of the packaging changing? Are there still some products that will be in the old packaging, or is it completely switching over on November 4th?
That is a great question. And we do not have a definitive answer for you.
Okay.
Where pretty much, I think what's going to be happening is they will get what we have now, because the products themselves are not changing. I'm guessing what they're going to do is offer both sizes, like of our facial lotion bar. So people can buy the standard size that we had before, or they can get this one until it's gone. And then once that one's gone, it's gone forever. And, the new stuff, obviously, like this is going to come as Herbal Alchemy, but
Right.
I'm pretty sure that they're going to ship out the MIG labeled things, because they're the exact same products, probably with just like a little note or something until those packaged things are gone. And then they'll switch over to the other stuff. I don't know if anyone else has any insight.
I did send an email even asking about websites and website changes and that, and we don't have a definite time frame. The premise is to utilize, obviously not waste any product that was already produced and in the process when they did the changeover, but it will be a gradual. And they can predict, but they don't have any idea hard and fast exactly units and numbers that need to be sold off before. So it will be this transitional period. And for a while, as soon as they do make the change on our website, both sites will funnel to your new Herbal Alchemist site as well. So I did send in that question, but I do think it will be a process, and it'll be based on how much product with the old packaging, how quickly it is sold.
There was a question about the smaller price for the smaller size product, or how some of the things are getting adjusted, like the facial lotion bond, that I'm assuming the pricing will adjust to that smaller size.
Yes, the price, if you look on the price sheet, it is, I think subscribe and save, these are $33 now, which is, much less than what this used to be at the larger size. So, yeah.
And also, I do think that the soap bars will probably change earlier than not, because my last order, when we did the 30% off, it already came in with like a different bag. And then I think they're stamping, because she said something when I was at convention. She's like, "Oh, these aren't stamped." So she's actually hot stamping the actual soap bar itself. So there'll be the new logo on the actual bar of soap. So I think that'll be fairly easy for them to make that switch.
Cool.
Thanks, everybody. Appreciate y'all being on. Oh, any other things? Will the soap bar have the same bath size? I believe the soap is saying the same size. It just, I think, is going to have a new like a melted, almost like it'll have the indentation, I guess, of the logo. It's like a branding, you know how they brand.
Yes. So the only thing that is changing, you guys, is the facial bars, the facial soap. So that is going to be coming. That it hasn't been released, but that was something that Jamie said was coming. And so yes, so that we're not sure. Don't mind my nephew, you guys. I'm babysitting for the week. But those are coming. So the new soaps are coming.
Julie, I don't know when the other things, anyone else have an idea, but goat's milk, soaps and the coconut soaps, anything like that? Does anyone know? I think
I do not have a
in
timeline
the
on
future.
So.
I think we need to roll out all this other stuff first, but since she didn't really present it like as an actual physical product, I don't know if it'll be out this, sooner. I think it'll be later.
Yeah. Okay, ladies, I'm going to wrap this up. We appreciate you coming. Please, this will be posted. I'll get it downloaded as soon as this call is over, as quick as I possibly can. And just know that we appreciate you joining us and contributing as well. Have a fantastic day. Bye-bye.
Bye, ladies.